At IELTS Advantage, we've helped hundreds of students get a band 9 in their IELTS reading test. And what I thought I would do today is show you a simple technique that we use to help students get a band 9 in their IELTS reading test. As you can probably see, the clue to improving to a band 9 level is looking at your answers. So every IELTS reading test looks the same. It has 3 sections, section 1, section 2, and section 3, and then it will ask you a range of different types of questions. Now, the combination of questions will vary from test to test, but it always has these 3 questions, and then there are about 10 or 11 different question types. You also need to make sure that you use real official practice tests. It's really important for this technique that you use practice tests that are official. If you use other practice tests, this technique will not work. So the first thing you need to do is do an official practice test under exam conditions. That means a practice test that you've never used before. It is best if you do 2 or 3 of them, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to show you what we would do if a student did 1. So what we would do with our student is we would get them to focus not on the questions that they got correct, but the questions that they got wrong. And this will reveal how they are going to get a band 9. So let's look at some common scenarios to show you how we can help you improve. So let's say we have our first student and we notice that they get all the questions correct except this question, 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 and this question. So by looking at their wrong answers, we can see that for this particular type of student, what they need to do is just focus on 2 question types. They obviously have got all of these right, all of these correct, all of these correct, all of these correct, and section 3 is the most difficult part. So it shows that there's no problem with their reading skills, no problem with their vocabulary, but every time they get a true, false, not given question or a matching headings question, they're very likely to get that question wrong. So for this student, what they need to do is just focus on a strategy for matching headings and a strategy for true, false, not given. And if they do that, they're going to dramatically improve their IELTS reading score because they are thinking and improving strategically. They're not trying to improve everything. They are identifying the key problem and then fixing that key problem. Or as we say on our VIP course, turn your weaknesses into strengths. If you want all of these strategies for every single question in one ebook, all you have to do is just go below to the description of this video, click on the link, and you can download it for free. Normally, we only give this to our VIP students, but for a limited time, you can get this PDF, but get there before we take it away. So if you want everything in one ebook for free, go below, click the link, and you can download it immediately before we take it away. Now let's look at a different student. So this student gets nearly all the questions correct, but they get this one wrong, 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 and this one wrong. So section 1 is quite easy. Section 2 gets a little bit more difficult, and section 3 gets even more difficult still. So if the student is getting all or mostly section 1 and section 2 correct, but when they get to section 3, they get nearly all section 3 wrong, or most of their mistakes are in section 3, this is an indication that this student needs help with their reading skills and or their vocabulary. Most of the time, it will be both. Because section 3, the text is going to be more difficult, the words in that text will be more difficult to understand, and the reading skills required, it requires more skimming, scanning, close reading. So for this student, most of them are incorrect, so we need to help this student mostly with their vocabulary and their reading skills. It could also be they are running out of time. So they had no problem in the first 2 sections, but they're running out of time. If they have a timing issue, then we need to help them with the different types of questions, familiarize themselves with the different types, help them with the strategy for those different types of questions, and then slowly build up speed. So if you had a problem for, let's say this student just could never get everything done on time, what we would do is we would start off very slowly with this student. And we would say, okay, take 90 minutes to do everything properly. Can you get everything correct in 90 minutes? Let's say they do that, or they get nearly all of it correct in 90 minutes. Well, let's try it then in 80 minutes, and then 70, and then 60. So we're slowly building up speed, and that's how we would help that type of student. Now, let's say we're working with a student and they get this one wrong, and this one wrong, and this one wrong, and this one wrong, and this one wrong, this one wrong, this one wrong, and this one wrong. So this is quite unusual because this particular student only has problems when they actually have to write the word. And they had no problem actually getting the correct answer. They got the correct answer for all of these. They have no problem, therefore, with sentence completion or summary completion because they actually find the correct answer. However, this student spelt equipment wrong, concerns wrong. They had a problem with the spelling of procedure, injuries, sunlight, transpiration, and weight. So for this student, they do not need to work on strategy. They do not need to work on speed. They don't need to work on vocabulary or reading skills. They just need to work on spelling. So as you can see, each student is very, very different, and we need to understand what their weakness is first, and then we attack that weakness. And spelling, there are different ways that we can help students with their spelling, but unless that student did this analysis, this weakness analysis, they would never be able to really understand their problem. Imagine this student goes and does like a very long reading course at a school somewhere, and they learn all of these different strategies and techniques and everything. They're not actually going to improve because their real issue is spelling. Now we have another student, they get that one wrong, 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 and that one wrong. So as you can see, matching information, matching headings, matching statements. This is a particular type of problem with matching. Each different type of question tests different reading sub-skills. So matching, one of the sub-skills that you need to learn for that is scanning. So scanning for the location of the correct answer. So with this student, often you'll hear people saying things like, oh, I just get lost and I run out of time. Well, really, it's not the student getting lost or losing focus or running out of time. It is just they really need to work on their ability to scan, or it might be a skimming issue, or it might be that whenever the question requires students to really read carefully and think deeply about the answer, they get those questions wrong. So they need to work on close reading. So to summarize, it is extremely rare for a student to just be bad at reading and just continuously get low reading scores. There is always a reason. What you need to do, again, is get official practice tests. Do at least one, better to do 2 or 3 under exam conditions, and then do this analysis of your weaknesses, and then turn those weaknesses into strength. So I want to help you out even more in this video to say thank you for being one of our loyal YouTube fans. One thing that many students have been asking us to do is the ability for me to give them one-on-one feedback on their essays and also create personalized study plans. Now, normally this costs a huge amount of money. We offer this on our VIP course, and if you were just to buy those 2 services, it would be $147. But we're trialing a brand new premium service. What we're going to do today, just for our YouTube viewers, is reduce that price by more than 90%. We're doing both the personalized study plans and the one-on-one feedback for just $10. But because I'm giving my time to this, I can only offer it to a very small number of people. So if you go below into the description, click the link. We might have places available, we might not. These places normally go very quickly because it is an amazing offer. Go and check it out. Take one before they are all gone. So now you can pinpoint your exact reading weaknesses. But after helping thousands of students reach Band 9, I discovered something shocking. The students who improved fastest weren't the ones with perfect vocabulary or flawless English. They knew one secret about how IELTS reading tests are actually structured that made every question type easier. So watch this video next, where I'll reveal the hidden pattern in every IELTS reading test. Once you understand this, Band 9 stops being about luck and becomes systematic. Click here to watch.